In this video, I'm going to be discussing 4 reasons why a CRM system should drastically improve the success of your sales. Now, I say should because some businesses, they implement a CRM system and unfortunately it doesn't work out for them for one reason or another. I'm not getting into that in this video. We are going to stray on the optimistic side of things and discuss why it will or hopefully will improve the success of your sales. Welcome CRM crew, my name is Nick. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning visitor or subscriber, thank you for giving this video a watch. Hopefully it will be of value to you. So the first point that I'd like to make on why I think a CRM system would drastically improve the success of your sales is you are going to be introduced to the sales pipeline and the sales process. Now, I'm not saying you haven't got a sales process already, and a lot of businesses do. Prior to the CRM system, they often manage their sales on email, via their email account. I've seen whiteboards being used, which is a bit old school. I've seen Excel spreadsheets, a very common one. And I've also seen people just saving people in their contacts and then just calling them. I'm not convinced by the last one at all. I don't like any of them, but I think contacts is really bad. Anyway, if you are in that position, transferring over to a CRM system is going to make a massive, massive difference. You will be able to track every single sale from the same place. You will see which stage that particular sale is in your sales process. If you have customized the CRM system, which I strongly recommend you do, it will be appropriate to your business. It will be designed based on your sales process. So you'll be able to see what stage they're at. You can move them from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3 very, very easily. It's quick and efficient to do. It then, as a result, means it's so much easier to manage. And the easier it is for something to be managed, then the far more likely it's going to have a successful outcome. We're also going to enable other members of the team to be able to see these sales. Now, that is going to be beneficial because they can obviously help out. They can aid you in whatever you need to accomplish to get the sale across the line, whether this be creating proposals or helping with the negotiations or giving product demos. They're going to be able to help. They can see what's going on. They can see the communication that you've had between the prospect, whether that be emails, meetings, tasks that you've had to complete. You can log all of that information inside of the CRM system for other people to see, for you to keep on top of yourself. And obviously that's just going to make things so much easier, and as a result it's going to lead to far more success with your sales. Now, obviously at the end of the sales pipeline, you can then manage your sales as closed won or closed lost. So hopefully if you've won the sale, you can manage it or mark it as closed won, or if it didn't go through, you can mark it as closed lost. You can then manage all of that as well, manage that information. So the sales pipeline is going to make a massive, massive difference. It just makes it so much easier to keep on top of everything. Now, this brings me nicely onto my next point, which is the leads area. Now, a lot of businesses, and I definitely was guilty for this as well, is when you have, let's say, a conversation with someone, or you get a stray email, and they're not really inquiring about your services, but at the same time they kind of want to have a conversation. You're not really sure what's going on. A lot of the time I used to kind of just neglect that information, and I know a lot of businesses do as well. But when you have a CRM system, you've got a specified area called the leads area where you can track that information, you can put it into the system, you can keep on top of it. It's kind of like sales, but it's not sales at the same time. You just qualify, where you manage it, you see if they are of value or they are not of value. You can track that information, and then maybe that stray email or that small conversation that you had with someone does eventually turn into a sale. You are obviously, having tracked that information is going to be far better than having just completely forgotten about it and not done anything with it. So you put them in the leads area. You could then do a follow-up or just a phone call, or drop them an email to see what's going on, to see if they are of interest. And if that lead is then qualified, if you go, okay, this is clearly of some value here, I'm glad I followed up with them, I'm glad I kept in touch with them, then you can transfer them to your sales area, your opportunities, your deals area, where you can move them through the different stages. And if nothing comes of it, that's not a problem either. That's not a problem. It's not like you've lost anything. It was always going to be worth tracking. But the point I'm trying to make here is a lot of businesses don't do that. They just, like I would have done, I would have just neglected the information. I wouldn't have thought about it. And a lot of other businesses, I'm sure, do that as well. So having that place where you can just put that information, track it. It's not, you don't need to keep on top of it all the time, but it's just worth having. It's going to make a difference. That is going to help improve your sales or the success of your sales, because you might be finding sales in places you didn't know there was going to be sales. Okay, so that is why you'd use the leads area. Now, the third point I'm going to make in why a CRM system is going to improve or should improve the success of your sales is because you are going to start collecting data. Now, most businesses, 90% of businesses, if they haven't got a CRM system, do not analyze their data. They do not look at all the information they are collecting over time. Some do, but very, very few. Now, if we can collect data, and obviously the data that goes into the CRM system we can collect, we can start to analyze it. We can start to break it down. We can use it as evidence. And with that evidence, we can see what is working, what's not working, how we can improve things, what we need to change in order to get better. This is going to act as a building block to start establishing a better way of doing things, right? So over time, the more sales that go through, the more sales that are won, and the more sales that are lost. You're going to learn more from the ones you lose than the ones you win. So the more sales that are lost, you're going to start establishing reasoning why that's happening. You can look at the data and go, oh, well, that explains that. That's why that happened. Or why didn't we get this sale? This is this. And then once you start collecting that data and using it as evidence, and like I said, you start improving things. And if you make small changes over time, you change the way you pick up the phone, or you change the way you email them, or anything like that, and you start seeing small improvements over time, these are obviously going to compound and make a huge difference in the long run. And often businesses just wouldn't really do this if they haven't got a CRM system, because they've got no means of tracking the data. Now, also, a lot of CRM systems have really, really good reporting functions as well, really good features available to establish what's going on, to find out what's working and what's not. So it's almost as if it's already there for you. You don't even have to do anything. You don't have to go to much effort to break down the data. They've already set it up. You've just got to plug in the information and just over time develop and see what's going on. So that's my third point. Collect data, use it as evidence, and then over time improve. And then finally, number 4, you're going to have a better relationship with your customers. The way you manage your customers, the way you speak with them, keep in touch with them, help them if they've got any issues, that's definitely going to be done a lot better inside of a CRM system. You're going to have case management if they have problems or questions regarding a product, or if you just want to keep in touch through marketing, you're going to have emails available that you can send to them, keep them in the loop with the newsletters and things like that businesses often do not do. Again, that can integrate with like MailChimp and other email communication systems, so you can send them newsletters or weekly updates or whatever businesses do. That is also an opportunity to just keep and maintain the relationship or improve the relationship over time, helping them out. And the better the relationship, the more likely you are going to be able to sell more products or new products to that particular business or to that particular person. So better customer relationships is obviously going to improve sales, because the better the relationship, the more chance you have of selling to them. So they are my 4 points. Hopefully these have been useful. I'll go over them just as a quick recap. Number 1 is the sales pipeline. You can manage everything a lot easier. Number 2, you've got leads, tracking information you probably wouldn't have tracked before. Number 3, you can collect data, use as evidence, and improve the way you work over time. And number 4, you can communicate better with your prospects or your current accounts, your existing business, and over time obviously improve the relationship and hopefully sell more to them. Hopefully this video has been of value to you. You found it interesting, and maybe it's convinced you to get a CRM system, or maybe you already have a CRM system, you thought about things you're not doing at the moment. But either way, whatever it is, or maybe you just found this video interesting, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for giving it a watch. If you have really enjoyed it, please consider giving it a like, possibly even subscribing, and I will hopefully see you soon in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.